By the time the flight attendants started their second beverage service, row 14 had become a minor source of cabin-wide entertainment for entirely the wrong reasons. The passenger seated there, a woman who'd boarded with an enormous cascade of golden hair reaching nearly to her waist, had somehow let it spread even further over the course of the flight. Draping across the headrest, brushing against the shoulder of the passenger behind her, and occasionally catching on the edge of a tray table whenever someone reached for their drink. Mild complaints started trickling in. The man behind her asked politely at first if she could tuck it forward. A woman across the aisle muttered something about fire hazards during the safety demonstration that the woman with the hair pretended not to hear. By the 90-minute mark, even the flight attendants had started exchanging looks every time they walked past row 14, and a small betting pool had quietly formed among the crew in the galley about how this was eventually going to resolve itself. Flight attendant Priya Okonkwo finally approached directly, crouching beside the seat with the practiced patience of someone who handled stranger requests daily. She asked, as gently as she could manage, if the passenger might be willing to gather her hair somehow, maybe braid it or tuck it into her jacket, just to keep the aisle clear for service. The passenger, who introduced herself as Wendy, apologized immediately and made a visible effort, gathering large handfuls of hair and attempting to pile it over one shoulder. It held for almost a full minute before slowly cascading back down exactly where it had been, as though the hair itself had other priorities. Priya tried again 20 minutes later, this time suggesting Wendy simply lean forward slightly to keep it off the seat back entirely. Wendy agreed, leaned forward at an increasingly uncomfortable angle, and held that position with visible strain for nearly 10 minutes before quietly straightening back up, the hair resuming its sprawl almost immediately, as if some invisible force kept dragging it right back to exactly where it had been. By the third attempt, Priya's patience had thinned considerably, and she asked more directly this time whether there was some reason Wendy couldn't simply secure it properly. A few rows back, someone had started quietly filming the whole exchange on their phone, narrating under their breath like a nature documentary about an uncooperative houseplant. Wendy hesitated, glanced nervously at the seat back in front of her, then asked very quietly if Priya could maybe not make a scene about what she was about to say. Priya braced herself for almost anything at this point. 3 failed attempts deep into what had become the strangest customer interaction of her shift. Confused but intrigued, Priya leaned in closer. Wendy parted a section of hair near her lower back, revealing what had been hidden the whole flight, a small, anxious terrier mix wedged into a travel sling against her torso, staying almost completely silent. In a rapid whisper, Wendy explained. The dog, Scout, was a certified therapy animal headed to meet a returning veteran, a reunion arranged through a veterans support program. A booking error had bumped him from the proper accommodated section, so a sympathetic gate agent had helped Wendy improvise, hair included, to get them both aboard quietly. Priya decided the calm, well-trained dog posed no real problem worth disrupting the flight, asking only that Wendy keep him concealed and promising to flag it to ground staff on arrival. When the flight landed, passengers lingered at baggage claim to watch. Scout bounded toward a veteran in a wheelchair, who broke into tears, reuniting after a 2-month separation. Footage of it went mildly viral within days. Far more attention than anyone's complaints about the hair ever earned. Would you have been annoyed at the hair for 2 hours, or wanted to know what was hiding underneath it?